Function of the human brain. We talked about the structure of the human brain, so now let's talk about its function. What does our brain do for us and why is it so important? So this is a diagram of the human brain, which we saw earlier. We said that the biggest part is the cerebrum. The cerebrum contains sensory areas that receive and process information from all our sense organs. So the cerebrum is responsible for the coordination between stimulus and response that comes from sensory areas. These are sensory areas in our brain. Each one of them is responsible for a certain type of sense. The cerebrum also has motor areas, which are where all of our voluntary actions originate. So all of the actions that we think about and we decide to do, like walking, for example, and not like breathing or our heart beating, the actions that we have control over, the voluntary actions, conscious control, these are originated by motor areas in our brain, different from the sensory areas, which are responsible for understanding the information that we receive from our sense organs. These are the motor areas that are found in the cerebrum. The cerebrum is the origin of higher activities such as memory, reasoning, emotions, and personality. So besides having sensory and motor areas, it is also where we do our thinking, our memory, our reasoning. Science has been able to show us which parts of the brain receive information from which parts of the body. So, for example, this part receives information from the feet, abdomen, chest, hands, fingers, mouth, lips, and tongue. This part is for skilled movement, so it communicates with the arms and the legs, and this part is responsible for hearing, so it communicates with the ear. And if we notice, this part is close to the ear in our head. This part is responsible for smell and taste, and also if we notice, it is the closest part to our nose and our tongue. This is the part that analyzes the chemical messages that are turned into electrical impulses and sent to the brain. So if I asked you, these two circled parts of the brain, are they sensory or motor areas? You should be able to tell me that they are sensory areas. And this part is also a sensory area. It is responsible for vision. So all of the light energy that is converted to electrical energy by the sensory cells in our eyes will be sent to this part of the brain. Now let's move on to the cerebellum. We said that the cerebellum is responsible for coordinating and balancing the action of our muscles. And then we talked about the medulla, or the brainstem, and we said that it connects the spinal cord with the rest of the brain. It controls basic body activities like heartbeat and breathing rate, which are involuntary. So this concludes our lesson for the functions of the different parts of the brain, of the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the medulla.